Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyavedhatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwavanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. By some inconceivable arrangement, Krishna has shifted our program from VSK to this place, probably because big number of devotees have come today, I think. In VSK, probably we will all be jam-packed there. This is all, is it a clubhouse? It's a very big hall. Very nice. So, you all can see this booklet called Reviving Love. We will do a part of it today. You see, in this world where we are living in, two qualities are very essential for you to be peaceful and happy, and also to make others peaceful and happy. The scriptures say this. Our scriptures teach us that you cannot be happy if you make a program to be in the material world forever. But if you have a program to go back to Godhead, then you also can be happy in this world, and then you can go back home, back to Godhead. You understand what I'm saying? So even if you are sitting in a, what is it, express, which, Rajdhani, I think, is it Rajdhani Express, which is air conditioned. Even though it is air conditioned, would you like to stay inside the train forever? No. You have to reach the destination. So you would like to have a comfortable journey, but then you also want to reach the destination. Similarly, in this world, man is trying to make his life more comfortable with scientific inventions. Like if it is too hot, put air conditioner, and make the houses more lavish and more comfortable. Have a bigger car, bigger size car. Initially, car was only for transport. After that, man started having a recorder in the car for hearing some music also. Then he started having air condition in the car. Then nowadays they have a TV also in the car. Of course, I think driver cannot see anything. Put it for people behind. If driver is watching TV, that can be accident. So the idea is, he is trying to make car like a home. You agree? Make it more and more comfortable. Then he thought that in the car it's very, stiff. Then he made the moving. The car also can move the chair front or back, as much space as you want, you can create. And somebody said, why only sit in the car, can't we sleep? Then he made a sleeping facility also. You can move it, you can move behind. What all man is doing, you can see in this world. How he is making the material facilities more and more better in order to make his life more and more happier. But no matter how happy you make the car life to be or a home life to be, definitely our bodies are aging. They are getting old. They get diseases. One day they have to die. So, and in between, there are also miseries from pandemic. There are miseries in the office. There are miseries. There can be miseries at home also. And along with the friends also, depending on what we do and what they do. So the scriptures say that you should make a program to go back to Godhead. At the same time, the scriptures teach us also how to lead your life in such a way that you can be happy also here, simultaneously. So, The principle, two principles I told you. One is called unity, another one is called conformity. Conformity with Supreme Lord and unity with other living beings. Once upon a time in a school, the children, small children. How old is he? 5. 5, yeah. I think his size children only. You were in upper kindergarten or lower kindergarten? Is it? LKG?
LKG, UKG.
First standard now? Okay. It's gone to 5 years. Okay. So those children were LKG children, I think. So one madam took some LKG children, some few of them, and dressed them like a butterfly and put one letter on their front. And she told them all to go to the stage. As soon as they entered the stage, the audience of 2,000 people just clapped hands and standing ovation for a long time. And the children are looking at each other. We haven't done any performance. Still, they are getting applause. What have we done? They did one wonderful thing. What was it? The teacher sent them all in a particular order, and they agreed to go in that order. And then they went to the stage and they stood. And there was, the board. Each of them was carrying one board. It was, E and M and O and C like that, L and W, E and W. What is it? Welcome, yeah. So that welcome board they were holding. So can any of you tell me what made the audience applaud the children? Anybody? Yeah? Why did the audience applaud? They didn't do anything. For that, they got a big applause. Yeah. She's giving an answer. Yeah, what is it? They showed the welcome board. So people saw the welcome. That is because they clapped the hands? Who said that? They followed the teacher. Give her one applause for that. They followed the teacher. That is called conformity. That is called what principle? Conformity. So, tasmat shastra pramanam te karya akarya vyavastitau. And Krishna is saying, Shastra Praman, based on the scriptures, Karya Vyavastita, what to do, what not to do, that you should decide in your life. You should, based on what scriptures say. Recently, one boy wrote to me a shocking mail. He's saying that, some man went to his brother's place and his brother was beating his wife. So then he pacified her and then he, marked the sindoor on her forehead and told her, that I accept you, don't worry. So and he said the brother is having now giving her shelter and so is it all right because the Shastras, do they approve giving such a shelter? I said this is nonsense. Already she is married to another man. How can you keep a sindoor on her forehead and accept her? Because people just don't know what is right, what is wrong. Kali Yuga is the age of topsy-turvy completely, everything. People are so foolish. Because they don't study the Shastra, they don't know what relationship you should have with everybody, except one's wife. One should see every woman as a mother. Matra paradareshu. I told them it is illicit relation. It is a terrible, terrible sin. So they may be innocent, they may claim innocence because they are ignorant. Because they are ignorant, then they are going to do nonsense. Therefore, tasmat shastra pramanante karya akarya vasita. We should exactly know what the Shastras say. What should one do? So then I wrote to him. Then I told him, if you are a man, a woman is younger to you, you should see her as a daughter. If a woman is elder to you, you should see her as a mother. If a woman looks at a man, if man is younger, she should see him as a son. If a man is elder than her, she should see him like a father. Other than husband, this is the way one should see. So I was trying to educate him. So now conformity is very easy if you hear from devotees in Guru Parampara regularly. Every week you attend a program, you come to know what God wants you to do. It's very easy, as simple as that. Then the other principle I told you is unity with one another. But there's a problem in unity. You know that religious riots happen between one religion and another. And it is not only religious riots. Sometimes there's a quarrel between states also, like between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka for Kaveri River or something like that. Isn't it? There can be such quarrel also. Then there are also quarrels based on racism or color, skin color. You know what happened in America? one policeman was keeping one black between his 2 feet, and because that fellow couldn't breathe properly, he died. And that became a very big issue. It was a couple of years ago, I think, right? 2, 3 years ago, yeah. We saw that. So that was seen as a white oppressing the black, correct? No? So you will see that in this world, people see more differences and less commonality, uh, because of which there are quarrels. And the root of differences is bodily consciousness. Uh, Jews were thought of to be enemies by Germans, headed by Hitler. That is because of skin. Srila Prabhupada uses the word skin disease, he says. Skin disease means looking at the body. You're thinking that he is Jew, I am a German, so I have to kill him. Or he is a black, I am a white, or whatever. Prabhupada says, he is a Hindu, he is a Muslim, he is a Christian, he is a Sikh. So these are all bodily consciousness. So the very first thing the scriptures teach us is you are not a body, you are not the material body, you are a resident of the body. And in this body, you are only the resident, but there is a president also. Who is president? Super soul. Upadrashta. So there's a president and resident. Both are residing in the same body, two people. So to know the difference between body and soul makes you intelligent. If you are not knowing this truth, you are called as a Mudha. Krishna says, Vimuda, na anupashyanti, pashyanti jnana chakshusha, the very first thing. So Prabhupada says everybody in this world is like a bird put in a cage, trapped in a cage. No bird likes to be inside the cage. When you open the cage, the bird flies in the free sky happily. All of us also are suffering in this world because we are trapped in this bodily cage. So we should first of all have information about the soul. And then one should know the occupation of the soul, Prabhupada says. Anybody can say, what is the occupation of the soul? See, the occupation of your body is to eat and then, pass stool, And the occupation of the body is to sleep. The occupation of the body is to throw out all foul-smelling substances from all the 9 holes. These are all the occupation of the body, you'll see that. And what is the occupation of the mind? The mind's occupation is to think, feel, and will. Similarly, what is the occupation of the soul? For example, if I ask you, what is the occupation of an engineer? You know what it is. What is the occupation of a doctor? You know. What is the occupation of a chartered accountant? You know. So everybody has a specific set of activities they do. Is it not true? Now, in the same manner, see, an engineer cannot do the job what a doctor can do. A doctor cannot do what an engineer can do. They have 2 different set of training programs. Similarly, the soul also has an occupation, which is actually called dharma. The word dharma is used for the word occupation. So what is the occupation of the soul? Anybody knows? Hey, one of you? She is saying chant, she is saying, okay? To serve and to love, she is saying. Correct. That is actually the occupation of the soul. Yeah. For example, the horses, the dogs, the cows, the bulls, the camels. So are they all serving or not? They are all serving humans. Humans are their masters. They are domestic animals. They like to live with humans. They don't like to be in the jungle. They like to be with humans. And they know that I will render service and they get something in return. They get maintenance by the human being. Now, not only humans are taking service from them and giving them something to eat. Now, amongst humans also, you'll see they are serving somebody else also. Every one of us sitting here, you have a boss, correct, no? To report to. And do you make an effort to please the boss or you don't make an effort? You make an effort, right? Because, if you don't please the boss, you don't get promotion. Especially the newly joined fellows in the companies. When the boss leaves at 9, after the boss leaves, only he will leave. And also he will come and stand in front of the boss and smile also. Sir, please know that I am also here. Please take a note that, tomorrow when you have to give promotion, don't forget my name. Correct, no? So we all try to please the boss. It's an obvious thing in this world. It's a very natural thing. So everybody is trying to please, but there is a big difference. When you try to please the boss, the goal is more money, promotion. That is a material thing in return. Nobody can say that I'm going to company because I love my boss so much I would like to give free work in the company. Nobody will do that. Until the paycheck comes in a month and you won't work. So, but when we talk about the pure love, or eternal love. That love is such a love that you don't expect anything in return. That kind of love. Maybe you have some experience of that love when you deal with your mother or with your father, because mother has done sacrifice for you. Mother and father, they have done so much sacrifices for you. You also want to give back something to them. So you wish to do. So in this world, you find two things I have told you till now. Why there is no unity? One of the things between the living entities, they see superficially, the superficial bodies they see, which we are not. Body is simply like a dress over the soul. It is like, just like you are all wearing one dress today, tomorrow you wear another dress. You change your dress. Like that, the soul changes the bodily dress. So that is the fundamental thing that Krishna teaches in Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada gives another very brilliant example. He says, you all have seen the green nariyal, big one. You have seen that? The coconut. It has got fiber outside. And then when you break the fiber, then you get a shell inside. Then inside the shell, you have white coconut. Inside that, you have coconut water. So Prabhupada says this outside fiber is like our gross body. And the shell is like what body? Subtle body. And the coconut is like the soul. And the coconut water is like Krishna Prem juice inside. So in the coconut, what is important, what is less important? What is more important, what is less important? If you are going to eat, what you will eat? Huh? Yeah, you will take coconut and coconut pulp you will take, and you will drink coconut water. That's the edible thing. Other thing, you throw it in the fire right now. Maybe coconut fiber, you will dry it and use it in the furnace. Similarly, in this body also, you throw the body into the fire. And subtle body also is burned away. You know that? See, stopping of the gross body is called death. Stopping of the subtle body is called moksha. Jarayatyashya kosham nigirinam analo yatha, like that. Lord Kapila is telling. Jarayatyashu ya kosham nigirinam analo yatha. Analo means just like the gross body is burnt in fire, similarly the subtle body also, the subtle mind mixes with the global mind. Subtle intelligence mixes with global intelligence. Subtle ego mixes with global ego. Then the pure soul goes back to spiritual world and meets the Lord face to face. So both these bodies are like the coconut fiber and the coconut shell which are put in the fire. But soul is like the coconut, and the coconut water is like the juice of Krishna Prem. Prabhupada gives nice analogy like this. So we should clearly know what is important and what is less important. Between your dress and the body, what is the more important out of the two? Tell me. Body is more important. For example, you are wearing a new dress for Diwali. People like to go and show to others, correct? No? When we were small kids, wear a new dress, go to different homes and show, I'm wearing a new dress. So when one of the boys went to one home to show his golden shirt, very beautiful color shirt, the entrance, there was one nail like this. And the nail went into his pocket. When he ran inside, like that he tore his clothes and started, he was burst into tears because the shirt got torn. But his mother pacified the boy, saying that imagine if the nail went on your body, like that the body, it went into your body and it cut across your flesh, it will be bleeding like anything. At least nothing happened. So out of the two, which one will you prefer? You will not mind the shirt being torn, or you will not mind the body being torn? That means out of the two, which is more important? Body is more important than your shirt. Similarly, out of the soul and the body, which is more important? Soul more. Correct now? So that's the most fundamental knowledge Krishna teaches, which most people don't know. So this is one thing they don't know, that they are not the body, they are the soul. Another thing they don't know is that we all have one common father, that they don't know. Vasudha Eva Kutumbakam, that they do not know. That's another big problem in this world. That's the reason why there was a very beautiful poem by Rabindranath Tagore, you must have heard it. He says, where the world is free from fear, where the knowledge is free, where the world is not divided by narrow domestic walls, he says, into fragmental parts by narrow domestic walls. But such a beautiful poem it is. He says that people are making domestic walls, uncha jati, nicha jati, or people are thinking, I am educated, you are illiterate, I am fair, you are black, I am Indian, you are some other this thing. So in this way, you find that everybody is making compartments, and in that compartment, they all have misunderstandings and quarrels. That's the main problem. Actually, behind the material body, all of us are similar entities. That commonality we should learn to see. Once upon a time, many frogs were living in central India. At that time, there was a sudden famine. And the frogs decided that because there is no water in our pond, we all will die. So let us find out, let's migrate to some place where we will get water. So they all went in 4 different directions, north, east, west, south. So when they went to a new place and joined other frogs in new lakes, those frogs told them, see, if you want to come to our area, you should be of our color. So if you are coming to North India, you should be orange color. If you are going to South India, you should be green color. If you are going to east side, you should be blue color. At this side, you should be yellow color. So they said, look at us, you should look like us, then only we can accept. So these frogs said, okay, you paint us if you wish. So they all painted them. So now they were all painted in 4 different colors. They all lived there for 3 years. Later on, they heard the good news that in the central place where they were living before, now there are heavy rains. There's a big lake now. They wanted to go back to their hometown. So again, they returned back. Now there was a problem. Anybody can say what was the problem now? Different colors. So it happens or not. Say like you go back to your village, your America return, and somebody has never gone out of the village. Then there is a difference we feel, correct? So they were also feeling difference. Hey, you look different. I look different. Your colors are different. So when they were quarreling with one another, suddenly the rain poured down and all the colors went off. Then they realized, oh, this color was superficial. We all have similar identity. Then they became friendly again. So easiest way to become friendly with other living entities is to realize that we are all one in quality. Everybody is Satchidananda Vigraha, one in quality. I heard an interesting story. Once upon a time, a boy was sitting in a bus stop in a village. I don't know whether you've been to Indian villages. The buses come with heavily loaded buses, Most of the buses are like this land. Sometimes buses are fallen also. So many people hang from the bus. So he was sitting, there was also an old man also waiting for the bus. But when one bus would come with heavily loaded with people, both of them would want to board the bus. They would go. And then the old man will sniff at the boy would sniff at the old man. They'll be unhappy with each other because both would try to barge in and both couldn't get in. And the bus would go away. So 1, 2, 3 buses went like that. Guess what happened? They were really upset with each other. They were actually throwing angry glances at each other, but they couldn't say anything. Because the boy thought, anyway, the old man, I should not shout at him. The old man also thought, let me control my anger. But then the next bus would come after half an hour. So the old man asked the boy, do you belong to this village? He asked him. The boy said, yes. Do you know one Ram Sharan Sharma in this village? The boy said, what to speak of knowing? He's my grandfather, he said. Really? He's a grandfather. I am Ram Sharan Sharma's elder brother, he said. I am Hari Sharan Sharma, he said. Immediately the boy got up. I have only heard about you, Dadaji. I never saw you in my life. And then the Dadaji said, I came to this village 22 years ago, he said. And the boy said, I was only born 20 years ago. That means the boy never saw him in his life. So immediately the boy bowed down to him and the old man blessed him. And then what ensued was a very wonderful talk between them, about the family, about your father, your mother, uncle, aunt, everything, and the village, the house, and the farm, and everything they were talking. They didn't know how the half an hour went. And then the bus came. Now the whole situation changed. The boy was showing hand to the grandfather. After that, you please get in. And what the grandfather was saying, the boy, you get in. So they had a pleasing smile on their face. Can anybody tell me what made this difference? How did both of them become so congenial and friendly with each other? Who knows the answer? Don't tell the answer, you raise the hand. I will ask you. Well, let us give one chance to Prabhuji's also. Yeah?
The relationship between them.
Okay, he's saying relationship. Okay, one side, one from Mataji side, yeah? They are from the same family, okay? On this side. They experience love for each other, yes?
Realization.
Yeah?
Realization.
Okay, he says realization.
Knowledge.
Knowledge of who each other is. Okay?
Connection.
Connection. Give him an applause. That was the word I was thinking of. Of course, all of you are right. None of you are wrong. But that was the word I was looking for. What is the word?
Connection.
Yes. If we all know connection with each other, we will not hate anybody at all. It's just not possible. Okay, let us ask these men. How many of you men have a sister here? You can raise your hand. Good number of them. Okay. Now, see, before your sister was married, you know her. But after marriage, the sister's husband, whom you came to know after marriage, he became dear to you. Correct now? He becomes very dear to you also, as much as your sister. And then when you go to his house, then you deal with his mother and father very respectfully. You may carry some gifts for them because you want to see that they will keep your sister properly, correct? No? You have to deal with them very honorably, respectfully when you go out. So anybody in sisters, newly wedded family, they, you the way you feel some kind of affinity to all of them. Her husband, husband's mother, father, family members. Where did that new affinity came in your life? You don't even know them. Just now you have come to know them. Maybe engagement is over and just now the marriage is over 1 month ago, 2 months ago or something. But you immediately feel some affinity for them. So can any of you say the secret? Where did that affinity newly became born in your heart for them, for those unknown people? Yes, Mati, yeah? She's saying acceptance, she's saying, okay. Anybody? Yeah? Connection to our sister. That is the answer I was looking for. You see, you don't see them, you see the connection to your sister. Because you love your sister, you also love them. Because your sister is very important for you. You want to see her happy. Now you see that this is the man who is taking care of my sister as a husband. So he is very dear to me because he is taking care of that object which I love very much. Therefore, you love that person also. And to the degree your love for your sister is very thick, to that degree, even if sisters, mother-in-law, father-in-law strongly taunt you or something, you will not mind it also. Because you know that, even if they taunt me, I will behave very nicely with them because I want to see them keeping my sister happy. So you find your happiness in her happiness. This is called a tat sukhi sukhitvam, we call it. That's the meaning of a devotee. Devotee means a devotee finds happiness in Krishna's happiness. Vrajabasi means they find happiness in whose happiness? Krishna. You find your happiness in your sister's happiness. So you want to see her happy, so you will treat all of them very nicely and you feel natural affection for them. Now, a very simple question to all of you. If you love Krishna, then which living entity you can comfortably deal with? All living entities. What is the reason for that? All are connected to him. That is the secret. Therefore, all of you repeat, love God, love all.
Love all.
That is the essence of this chapter, reviving love. Love God, love all. So God is like a master switch. If you love him, you will love everybody. Like, I'm going to America now. I recently went to America for 30, 40 days. So one of the devotees I have deputed that to stay, in Brooklyn and New York to preach. So he is preaching and bringing some new boys to me, to introduce them to me. Now I don't know those new boys, but I feel a very strong affection for them. Why? Because they are connected to the boy whom I have sent, is preaching and is making them devotees and they are taking to Krishna consciousness. So I thought about how there are many new people whom I don't even know who they are. I don't even know their name, but I feel affection for them. So where their affection comes from, our affection is connected from Krishna to them. Just like Satman, Krishna is the supreme satellite, connects everybody. If you're connected to him, you're connected to everybody in the creation. And you can't hate anybody. So Prabhupada has scientifically explained in Nectar of Devotion how this happens systematically. He says that first you love only one person in this world, that is your own mother. Then you love your mother and father. You come to know of your father. Then you love your brother and sister. Then you love your blood relatives. Correct? Then probably, say there's a likelihood that somebody may be taking all the garbage from one's compound and throwing it in the neighbor's compound. Some people do that. They may do that. So initially one may do that. But imagine if a boy from this family got married to the girl in the next house. Can they throw like that? They become sambandhi then. Correct? No? That means, you see based on connection. So if they are related, then your love is only for them. If they are not related, you may not love them. Then you find that your love expands to Jati people, my caste people. I am born in this particular caste, a particular surname also. Like somebody's surname is Patil. Another boy tells, my name is Ram Patil. Hey, Patil, Patil, Patil. I am also Patil. They feel connection. You all have seen that? If somebody has your surname, like my name was Ramakrishnan Iyer. Somebody says Iyer. Oh, you are also Iyer. I am Iyer, you are Iyer. Or I am Iyengar, you are Iyengar. Correct? No? The surname matches. So we are attracted to those having the same surname. Or anybody is speaking the same language also. Language makes familiar also. Like if somebody speaks your language. Like imagine you are going to America, everybody is speaking in English, everybody. You're wondering, will somebody speak my language? Somebody is telling you, Randi, they're telling you, huh? Kuchandi? No. Bhagavanara? You ask like that. How do you feel? You feel very happy or not? Huh? Somebody speaks in your mother tongue. You feel very comfortable. So you consider your language, your state, but later on you travel to different parts of India, especially if you are in army or bank, they keep on transferring every 3 years. Then you speak multiple languages. Then you love all Indians. Then from your state, you go to Mera Bharat Mahan. Correct, no? You see, in Tamil Nadu, there's one poet called Subramanya Bharati, He wrote a poem, Sendamilnadennum Podinile Inbatten Vandu Pagithu Kadinile, like that one song he wrote. He says,